Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. Welcome back ladies and gents. I'm looking forward to this one. I am looking forward to being back, sitting on my sofa and having a look at some of the football. Hopefully you guys are as excited as myself for tonight's game, as I just pop my phone on silent for the time being. But welcome back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. If you are new, of course, welcome to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. And if you're a returning subscriber as well, welcome back. If you don't know the drill around here, the drill that we've got today is we've got ourselves a nice watch along. And as you can see by the graphics on the screen, well, mostly below me here, but also from scrolling across and clicking the thumbnail, we do have ourselves a very, very fantastic game, or what could be. Two sides in search of their first win this season. Leicester City and Southampton both have a draw and a loss to their name so far this season. Will one of them come out of this game with a win, with their first win of the season? And believe me, both of these sides most definitely need this result. I can see it going either way, but there's definitely goals. There's a history of goals in this particular fixture, and hopefully we see some today. That is what we're hoping for, isn't it? That is fundamentally what we want after every single game. I nearly said race then. I've got the F1 stuck in my head at the moment. But if you are there and you are listening, do be sure to number one, drop a like if you are enjoying the stream. Number two, and most importantly, let us know your thoughts on today's game, and always get your score predictions in. Real Tom's been in to drop in a score prediction of 4-1 to Leicester City, so clearly Real Tom backing a big scoreline, as it has been on a previous few occasions between Leicester City and Southampton. But we're about 15 minutes or so away from kickoff, which unfortunately I didn't manage to get on at past. I've been quite busy today. Got myself a fresh fade, and of course went to the gym as well and looking after the dog. So haven't had quite the chance to start when I wanted to, or maybe intended to. But we're here and we're live, and let's have a jump into it. We've got plenty of time, like I say, to have a look through the teams, and then I will, of course, come to my score prediction at that point as well. As always, if you do see me looking down, it's because I've got my phone here. Obviously, score lines, which are scrolling across the bottom. You can see today's early fixture, early kickoff, I guess. That is correct. Scrolling across your bottom just now, actually, not across your bottom, across the bottom right now, as Tottenham did beat Wolverhampton Wanderers thanks to a goal from Harry Kane. The other games which we do have, as you can see, Crystal Palace host Aston Villa, which of course is also live on A View from the Stands. If you want to go over and check out Josh's channel, be sure to go over there. Then you've got Everton 0-0, Nottingham Forest. Don't know why I read it like that. Of course it's 0-0. It's not kicked off yet. And then you've got Fulham versus Brentford, and then the late kickoff tonight is Bournemouth versus Arsenal. So those are today's fixtures. That's the roundup thus far. Let's have a look at the two teams for today as we edge ever closer. I was going to say evening then. Afternoon to Batman, who says Wolves should have won against Tottenham. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch the Spurs game, so I'll have to take your word for that. But by the sounds of things, Batman, it looks like Spurs have got lucky to pick up points 2 weekends in a row, unless that's just you being a biased Chelsea fan, but I'll let you off anyway. Right, let's have a look at the Leicester City lineup for today. There we are, ladies and gents. It is on your screen for you now. Of course, the big thing about this Leicester City side is I am a little bit worried for Leicester City at this current moment in time. I don't know if you are, but I most certainly am a little bit worried because they seem to be a little bit light on the ground, particularly as we start ourselves off in that goalkeeping position. Danny Ward is now their number one goalkeeper, and whilst he has done a good job for Wales in the Euros and the World Cups before, have they reached the World Cup before? Maybe just the Euros. The Euros before. Unfortunately, Danny Ward isn't the level that Kasper Schmeichel was, and considering that Kasper Schmeichel was the captain, he all of a sudden just dipped out of Leicester City. That is a bit of That is a bit of a weird one, because otherwise you would have liked to think they would have given him a better send-off there, because Kasper Schmeichel very much is a Leicester City legend. Of course, one of the few players who was still in the team who have won the Premier League with Leicester City. And afternoon to Curly, who's just joined as well, who of course is trying to get in there and wind me up. But I won't bite, Curly, I won't bite. What was I saying? Kasper Schmeichel, that's what I was saying. It is a weird one. You know, he's moved on. They've got to deal with it now, and they've got to try and do something with the team that they have, because they're leaving it ever so late if they do want to sign a goalkeeper. You'd like to think that Leicester would have the pull power to bring in a new goalkeeper, but by the looks of things, they haven't. Afternoon, Fraser. I hope you're doing well, mate. And he says he's going for a 2-1 Leicester result, Curly. And Batman, make sure you guys as well, if you are still both listening, get your score predictions in as well for Leicester City versus Southampton. We'll go across the four at the back then. We've got Timothy Castagna and James Justin. I mean, that fullback duo could really start either way. Johnny Evans and Daniel Amati, of course, will be the centre-halves, but we've seen James Justin and Timothy Castagna play either side of those fullbacks, which is kind of really important for the way that Leicester like to play. And the fact is as well, the amount of injuries some of their fullbacks have had. Ricky Pereira, when he plays, was fantastic, but he's just not had the form and the consistency to do it. So having players that can move over, and of course they've not really filled the void of Ben Chilwell yet, who left, what was it, two seasons ago now, 3 seasons ago. They've never really bought and invested in an out-and-out left-back. Of course, like I mentioned, James Justin is a right-footed left-back who is playing at left-back. He does a good job, and he's a fantastic footballer and a very diverse footballer in that sense. But they need to invest elsewhere. Batman says, does anyone know why Kasper Schmeichel left? I read that completely weirdly. I do apologise. I don't know. It was kind of, like you say, it was out of the blue. The only thing I can think of is maybe Kasper Schmeichel saw Brendan Rodgers and he didn't think that Leicester City were going to go anywhere. But you'd like to think that the captain of all players would be able to put would be able to I've got a little bit tongue-tied here, would be able to see the progression that a manager would have. And it is a little bit worrying for me that he upped and left so easily and so quickly and they couldn't do anything about it. That's the most worrying thing for me, if I was a Leicester City fan, particularly. Let's move on. The defensive midfielder, as we've got about 7 minutes until kickoff. I'll have a little bit longer because, as always, Fire Stick, I'm delayed. But Wilfred Ndidi is starting in CDM. Then we move on to 2 players who haven't featured in the Premier League, as you can see by their grey blocked out things that are on the screen, as Harvey Barnes and Iosi Perez make their first start of the season. James Maddison and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall start in midfield, with Jamie Vardy up front, as I mentioned, one of the few players who have a Premier League winners medal in this Leicester City side, and of course with Leicester as well. Johnny Evans has a couple with Manchester United. But as you can see by those ratings so far, there has been one man who has been the talk of the town, and he's on the thumbnail, and it's James Maddison. He's made a great start to the season, and he made a great finish to the end of last season as well. Desperately unlucky not to get in the England sides, and if anyone follows me on, well, even just on YouTube, but on TikTok or Instagram, you will have seen that I did put James Maddison as a player who would be perfect to have in an England B side, because at the moment he just can't quite break in. Who knows, maybe this will be his season and this will be his World Cup for James Maddison to really push on. I think he's 25, 26 years of age now, so really maturing and becoming and thriving and becoming a great player. Very two-footed as well, which I absolutely love. Curly says 3-1 to Southampton, and he's going a Ward-Prowse hat-trick incoming. I'm I'm not sure on that one, but I'll happily eat my shirt if that does happen. I have to say, Danny Ward is such a versatile player, striker for Huddersfield and goalkeeper for Leicester. Exactly. That's. I've not given him enough credit there, Curly. You are absolutely right. Scored 16 goals in the Premier League and the Championship last season. Then continues to play for Leicester in goal on the other days. You know, normal stuff. Right, let's move on. Let's move to Southampton and let's talk about their side. And I must say, I've not seen much of Southampton this season, but the one thing that is striking me already, just as I look at this team, is the amount of completely different names that I am seeing on the page. So unfortunately, I cannot tell you who are youth products, who are talents that they have scouted and they've taken away from other people. But if you look at that and you were to compare it to last season, it is absolutely completely different, really, isn't it? It is completely different. Let's have a look at some of Southampton's transfer business thus far. I'm just going to have a look on my phone. So we'll make our way through the team, and then what we will do is we will tell you when there is a transfer. And to kick ourselves off, Gavin Bazanu is the goalkeeper. He is an Irish goalkeeper who they've just signed from Manchester City for £12 million. And then, of course, we know Kyle Walker-Peters. We know how fantastic he is. Armel Bella-Kopcha is a German centre-half who they have also signed in this summer transfer window. So definitely trying to get their players in nice and early. £8 million, and they got him from Bochum. Then you've got, of course, Mohamed Salisu, who... again, another fantastic footballer. And then Moussa Djenepo playing at left-back. Maybe a little bit foreign for him playing at left-back. He's usually more of a left midfielder. But who knows? It might end up actually suiting him quite nicely playing at left-back. He's got bundles of energy, doesn't he? Absolutely bundles of energy. And then to complete the Manchester City duo of Gavin Bazanu and then Romeo Okay, this is going to be difficult. Lavia is what we're going to go with. Romeo Lavia, who cost £10 million, the Belgian central midfielder, born in 2004. 2004, ladies and gents. Oh my God, I feel absolutely old. But so far, he has played a full 180 minutes in a Southampton shirt, and he costs about £10 million to join from Manchester City. The age of 18, already making 2 starts in the Premier League. Who knows? We could be on for a bit of a baller. The future Youri Tielemans? Who knows? Youri Tielemans is still only 24. But to be fair, that is something we need to talk about as well. The players not in that other team. Then James Ward-Prowse, of course. No surprises there. He is starting. Danny Ward, former England goalie. Liverpool goalie is what Fraser said, absolutely. And then Adam Armstrong is going to start on that left-hand side, another familiar face. Mohamed Elianousi starts on the right-hand side. And then they have their second-to-last new transfer, which is Sekou Mara, who came from Bordeaux, the winger, who last season, what were his goal outputs? He started 8 games last season with 6 goals and 26 appearances across the board. So... not bad stats. He's a bit of a winger, a bit of an attacking midfielder as well. Can play central attacking midfield, left wing and striker. Has an assist to his name thus far this season. And, to be fair, in his last game of last season, scored twice in a brace as Bordeaux beat Brest. Yes, Brest, 4-2. And then the final one, I can do the introduction for this one, as I know this player. It's Joe Aribo. Rangers. Josh Ring's absolute favourite. Played for Rangers last season in that side that did so fantastically well, and he starts up front for Southampton. Right, guys, we are about a minute away then, ladies and gents. Literally a minute away from our kickoff time. So, if you haven't already, get your score predictions in, and I shall get mine in as well. Both sides haven't made the greatest of starts to life in the Premier League this season. That is no secret. They both need to get themselves a win today. They're both going to be up for it. And I actually think we are not going to see one of them break their duck and I think it is going to be a draw, and I'm saying it's going to be a 2-2 draw. And Fraser has got hashtag bring Mane back. Fraser I love how I didn't even read your name. I just assumed it was Fraser because I saw a Liverpool badge. It could have not been Fraser, and that would have been really awkward. Probably should pay more attention to that, Fraser. I'm not going to lie. But he's gone with 2-1 Leicester. I've gone 2-2. I think this is going to be a draw, but plenty of goals and plenty of excitement. Or at least that's what I'm hoping for. A draw with plenty of goals and plenty of excitement. But we are a couple of moments away now. If my stuff stops lagging, then we are a couple of moments away from the start of this game. I can see Johnny Evans on my screen, but for some reason it's not quite playing as of yet, so I'll try to get this up to speed, but I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully you guys are as well. Break the duck. What did the duck do to you? So mature, Curly. God, what a fantastic joke. But we are getting underway across England today for the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and I'm looking forward to hopefully watching some good football in this game as well. We are underway here, but for some reason, as I mentioned a second ago, everything is just being really, really laggy, so I do apologise. I'm just going to whack the timer and press start and see where the time is at when it opens up. But let's see. So Southampton are playing in their typical white kit, in their away white and red kit, and of course Leicester City playing in their blue as well. So as expected with Leicester City, of course, no kit clash really there. Just double checking, making sure that there's not been any early goals as time has flown by here. Let me just try something else, because this is really being slow today, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's my laptop. I don't think it is my laptop, but it's been very strange at the moment. Right, there we are. Is this going to work for me? I can hear the sound, I just can't, for some reason, it's just lagging, and I don't know why. I have no clue what's going on. Curly's going to be back in a second anyway. And like I mentioned, I will try and keep you guys up to date as well with those scores that are scrolling across at the bottom. And I thought there was going to be one there, and it turns out it was Mainz instead. Brilliant. What is going on? I have no clue. Apparently there's been a goal for Fulham already. There has been a goal for Fulham already. Inside a minute, Fulham. And it's Bobby De Cordova-Reid. Bobby De Cordova-Reid has got himself a goal nice and early on here. So that is the first goal of the game. If anyone was doing their Super 6, the lower the score, the better for today, I must say. The lower the score, the better for today, because I have no clue what's going on here. What is going on with my internet? I can hear everything. I have no clue what's going on here. What is going on? Why is this having a mare? Why is that popped up on my screen as well? I don't want that. What is going on? Oh God, this is winding me up. This is winding me up already, and we are on for about literally about 2 seconds. We've been properly live. I'm worried about the United game. Curly, stop pretending like you support Liverpool. We all know you don't. This is just my luck in it at the minute. Is it going to work if I have it on this screen? There must be something in my system preferences right now that are... Right, I've got it working. That's going to have to do. I'm going to have to turn it down. For some reason, it was to do with the audio. I'm going to have to turn this down quite a bit. For some reason, it was something to do with the audio going through on the wrong thing. Yeah, it's being weird. A lifelong Liverpool fan. No, you're not. No, you're not. Pull the other one. Right, we're all sorted. We're all ready. I do apologise for that, ladies and gents. I have no clue why it did that, because I've got it on my TV over there, and for some reason it just decided Maddison whips in a corner there, and that's headed clear. Yeah, it just decided for some strange reason to, whenever the audio was coming out of the TV, to not work, and I don't know why you would. I don't know why you would do that. But there we are. Let me update them. Let me update the bottom scrolling bar, and then we can be ready and we can sit back and relax, hopefully without too many more goals coming in. Hockenheim are doing my notifications in already. They're annoying me. Nearly 5 minutes in already, and I've not watched the second of football at the moment, as there's a penalty appeal there for Keenan Dewsbury Hall there, who tried to get in behind. The referee, though, does wave it away and says there is nothing doing. Goal to Aston Villa. God, I have absolutely jinxed that one, as Fraser is updating us. It is a goal to Aston Villa. Let's see who the scorer is of this goal for Aston Villa. Elsewhere, it is Oliver George Arthur Watkins, who is assisted by Leon Patrick Bailey Butler. I don't know why it tells me the full name there. It is Ollie Watkins. You are most certainly happy there, Curly. I'm sure that'll be for your FPL team. But some nice goals, kicking ourselves off and getting ourselves underway already. And Augsburg have just equalised against Mainz as well, in case if anyone is wondering. I don't know why my phone is deciding to tell me this. Right, now I can actually sit back and watch the football instead of it freaking out on me. As Elianusi there tried to break free. A foul given out by Ayoze Perez. Yeah, like I say, the Southampton team, very much at the moment a new look Southampton team. From what we are used to seeing, very much a new look Southampton team, completely different to that we have seen over the last few seasons. A lot of new transfers, but it looks like they may well have invested quite well and invested quite nicely. And we'll have to wait and see, won't we? They're chucking them in at the deep end, some of these young lads. Like I mentioned, the young midfielder who was coming from Manchester City. They're chucking some of these guys in at the deep end, and maybe that's the best way to learn. Brendan Rodgers will most certainly think so, hence why he plays them. He clearly trusts them. Some of these younger lads, Bazanu in goal as well. Clearly trusts them. There might be an opportunity to break here as the ball's whipped in there towards Joe Aribo. It nearly found its way through to Adam Armstrong, but it was cleared by Daniel Amati. Still might be an opportunity up this right hand side. It's good working and harrying, but the foul has been given away in the end. That was Kyle Walker-Peters going down that right hand side. And as quickly as Aston Villa have scored, Crystal Palace have gone, anything you can do better, mate. Anything you can do, mate, I can do it better. And I've just had a notification to tell me that Dazet Wilfred Amil Zaha has just equalised for Aston Villa. So absolute ecstasy and joy a moment ago for Aston Villa, but it has turned on its head. And what a fantastic response that looks like it has been for Crystal Palace already. Really good stuff in that game, and great to see both teams looking like they can score, and that is what I've spoken about here as Kyle Walker-Peters looks to break down that right hand side. Some nice feet there by Kyle Walker-Peters down the right hand side. A little bit of a step over that did eventually win him the... I keep forgetting to put my phone back on the stream so I can actually make sure that the stream's working correctly. Win his team a throw-in. Looks like they're lining up for a bit of a long throw-in here. Clearly got themselves a new throw-in specialist. Or is it Salisu who's going to take it? Salisu's going to go over there and take this long throw-in. Put a little bit of pressure on Danny Ward. It is a long throw-in, looking towards Joe Aribo and his tall but lanky frame. It comes back out. It's so strange not knowing who half these players are for Southampton. Last season, like I say, we could have pretty much picked the team ourselves, and we would have known pretty much who would be playing, but it doesn't look to be the case at the moment. Of course, they are still a little bit short on players, with Tino Livramento, who had a fantastic season last season, still out as well. 1-0 to Scunny, apparently. Good on you, Scunthorpe. Palace can only score against the very best teams. Who are Palace playing? Oh, Aston Villa. Yeah, that's who they're playing. I can't believe I forgot that so quickly. Adam Armstrong putting on a little bit of a press here. I'm intrigued to know what you guys think. Are you guys worried for Leicester City this season? I would say Southampton, but I feel like Southampton are a side that we've been worried about for a few years now, and now I'm starting to be less and less worried for them, because I think they've got the potential and the right sort of setup for them to keep themselves in the Premier League season after season. But I'm really intrigued to try and get an understanding from you guys of where you think Leicester City are going to be come the end of the season. Are they going to be, fighting for that top 8, where I'm sure Leicester fans will tell you they feel that they deserve to be over the last few seasons, or are they going to be at that maybe beneath mid-table? Are they going to be fighting around the bottom? Because everyone else, in my opinion, has made a step forward. Whether they've overtaken Leicester, this might be a potential opportunity there, though. Through ball from Harvey Barnes there, looking for James Maddison, wasn't good enough. But the best teams always keep themselves moving, and they don't stagnate. And Leicester haven't made a signing, and yet they've lost their captain. And they could lose Fofana. There's rumours about Maddison leaving. Jamie Vardy's been linked away with moves as well. And if they keep like that, they will be absolutely pulled apart. And interestingly, of course, this might be a great opportunity for a counter-attack led by Joe Aribo, but that's a great tackle there by, I think that's Keenan Dewsbury-Hall. Sorry, it was Mara who had broken forward there. I thought it was Aribo, but Mara breaks forward down that right-hand side, and it's a great piece of defensive play in the end. Afternoon to John, who says Villa are awful. Afternoon to you, John. Lovely to have you in here, mate. And Zaha goal was okay, to be fair. Good start in the Villa game, most certainly, Fraser. And Leicester will be lucky to get top half, and that's the sort of feeling I've kind of got at the moment. I hate to say it, because Leicester, I've always sort of rated them that, the way that they've gone about it has always been about performance for them. This might be an opportunity from the edge of the box. It's driven in towards Danny Ward's goal, but that was never gonna challenge or threaten at all from the defensive midfielder there. Their new signing. But like I mentioned, I think Leicester, they're one of those teams that I've always had a bit of a soft spot for. I'm sure Curly feels the same way. One of our teachers used to be a Leicester City fan, so everyone in our year kind of had a bit of a soft spot for Leicester. I mean, we all did for Dobbo anyway. But I think Leicester, like I say, they're stagnant at the minute. They haven't moved forward, and as a result, I think they're going to be looking sideways and down rather than above this season. Harvey Barnes with some space there at the edge of the box. He's going to try cut in. That's a great tackle. That is a really, really good tackle there by Bellacopter. Bellacopter. That's definitely not how you pronounce his name. I think it's Kopcher, the second part of his double-barreled name. Bellacopter, the young German centre-half. Here's Dewsbury-Hall, who, of course, I think he's only 24 as well, Keenan Dewsbury-Hall, and he had a fantastic, I'm going to say debut season last season, more of a breakthrough season last season with Leicester City, and I'm very sort of impressed at the way that he plays. He reminds me a little bit, and I don't know if Curly agrees with this one, but he reminds me a little bit of Lewis O'Brien, who is now just signed for Nottingham Forest. Of course, I watched him quite a lot last season at Huddersfield Town in the flesh, and it's that ability on the ball. Gineppo's done really well there, and he tries to roll through. I think that was Mara there, who looks like he started up front at the moment. He has, yes, Mara has. And off the right-hand side, it looks like there is Joe Aribo. So that's looking like how they are setting up at the minute. Jamie Vardy might be able to break forward here, and he was just about ready and waiting there, but the ball didn't quite fall for him. Here's Dewsbury-Hall, who's going to try cut back. Lovely cut back, Dewsbury-Hall. Can he look up? There's Perez at the back post. Oh, he's missed his kick. Oh, Iosi, mate, you've let yourself down there. Maddison, back into Perez. Good feet. Into Maddison. James Maddison blocks. It's going to fall out to the edge of the box again. It can't quite fall to Castagna. And somehow Southampton smuggle it away. That's better from Leicester City. Good feet again by Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall down this left-hand side. There was a little bit of intensity there, and we're starting to get a bit of liveliness in this game. That was good play by Leicester City down that left-hand side. What was I going to say? Jordan's in the chat. I've just seen him as well. Bloody hell, how many time checks are you doing, Sam? Take your watch off. Don't stop the watch, Sam. I'm not checking the time. It's the reason I'm looking at my watch is because I'm getting the notifications for the score updates. It's because I have a smartwatch, Jordan. And Mr. Dobson was a hero. We're all lifelong Leicester fans because of it. I was until Kasper Schmeichel was a knob. But he's left now, so we're fine. We're fine. I mean, Leicester aren't fine, but I'm fine. I can now support him. I'm just moving my table a little bit closer. Here is Dewsbury-Hall once again. Good football at the edge of the box there from Leicester City. And I think Joe Aribo's won that back. But Ayoze Perez has somehow nicked it back. Gineppo, good feet at the edge of his own area. And he's going to try drive that one forward. It's a little bit clumsy from Southampton, trying to get the ball out at the moment. Vardy's done well to keep that one on, though, and play it for a throw-in for Leicester City as well. Leicester have really turned the gas on here, and if you can't handle the pressure, stay out of the kitchen. And Southampton are feeling the pressure at the moment. That's a good headed clearance there by Salisu, and Elyounoussi there just fouled as he looked to break forward. Okay, Mr. Smartwatch, one day you'll make the big leagues and have a Rolex. I don't want a Rolex, Geordie. I don't want a Rolex. I don't really wear watches. I only wear this one because it tells me my heart rate. That's the only reason I wear it. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, we're just watching that lovely piece of skill as it was pinged over the top towards Ayoze Perez. Lovely. Here's Mara. Looking for a Aribo. He let that one run onto his left foot, and he can't quite squeeze it through there. Can't quite squeeze it through there. And Leicester able to sweep up. Johnny Evans into... Oh, lovely play there by James Justin. Just to drop his shoulder. Switches the play. Oh, that was... Schalke have just missed the penalty. God, voice crack. Schalke have just missed the penalty. Does Jordan Spence have a Rolex? Probably. You know what Jordan's like, Curly. You know what Geordie's like. Barnes into Johnny Evans. Here's Danny Ward. Again, like I mentioned, I'm going to be intrigued to see how he plays today, Danny Ward. I'm really going to be intrigued to see how he plays because over the last few seasons, he's not really had too much game time overall, especially in a league setting. He's had a bit more, hasn't he, for Wales, like I mentioned earlier on. But I'm intrigued to see if he can get a full season behind him this season, if he can actually put in a good performance. As Timothy Castagna there just picks up a little bit of a knock. It was Elyounoussi who was putting in the pressure, and the slide tackle wasn't bad. It was just a bit of a... I think they're just... As Castagna went to kick the ball, I think he's just caught the foot of Elyounoussi as the slide tackle came in. It wasn't that Elyounoussi had overly put in a hard tackle there. John says, both of these teams will finish bottom half but safe and sound from relegation. I think I like that prediction, to be honest with you, John. It seems to suit both teams. Southampton, again, like last season, they were comfortable in that bottom half. They weren't going to push for those European top 10 places, but they weren't going to be relegated. And I think that'll be the same for this season. But Leicester, I am a little bit worried for Leicester more so than anything. And Jordy Spence doesn't. Oh, there we are. He's talking a big game, saying about my smartwatch, and acting as if he's got a Rolex himself. Opportunity here for a free kick for Leicester City. It's about, well, it's quite a long way out, just inside the Southampton half, and that looks like something from the training ground there as it's whipped over towards Ayoze Perez, but Perez just can't quite keep it on. A little bit of a miscommunication between himself and Timothy Castagna, I believe it was, who had both made a similar run, so there was clearly something they were supposed to do, like build off the training ground there, and clearly they were they'd practiced it when they both weren't on the pitch, and this time they were both on the pitch, and they both made the same run, kind of got in each other's way just a little bit. Maddison is going to take the corner though, following that incident. It's whipped in and it's headed clear all the way out towards Daniel Amati and James Justin, who are at the halfway line. It's going to be whipped back in again, and that was a bit of a shot come cross there as Timothy Castagna tried to make his way in towards the back post. I'm not sure who drilled that one in, to be honest with you, but I'm not sure they knew quite what they intended there. I think it was Harvey Barnes as he took a shot come cross, and he's hit it well. He has most definitely hit it well. I just don't know what he was intending from that, if I'm honest with you. I just don't know what he was intending from that. But 20 minutes on the clock. Leicester have definitely made the better start of the two teams. And Southampton, they just need to get themselves on the ball a little bit and try and take some of this pressure off them. And Kyle Walker-Peters might do a good job here as he tries to dribble the ball out. He seems to be the only outlet at the minute, does Kyle Walker-Peters, as he moves the ball forward down that right-hand side. And Leicester City, just every time they get the ball, they look cool, they look calm, and they pass and move and they get the ball out. That being said, Wilfred Ndidi nearly gave the ball away there to Gineppo. Indeed he did. Indeed he did. 2-0 to Fulham, Fraser's telling me. 2-0 already. Wow. 2-0 to Fulham already against Brentford. How the turntables, ladies and gents. That is absolutely a body slammed and a half there from Adam Armstrong, who looks more and more like Danny Ings with that number 9 shirt as the day goes on. I've not had a notification for Fulham yet, so I'll update it once I've got that. I don't doubt Fraser's probably not lying to me, but I'll just make sure. They did have one disallowed as well, Fulham have. Fulham are on fire. Hopefully it's not Mitrovic, because he's not in my fantasy football team. Here is Dewsbury Hall looking for Harvey Barnes. Into Maddison, back into Barnes. Good football this from Leicester, but that's great defensive play in there with from the defender. And they might be able to counter-attack themselves here, as it's, Adam Armstrong. That was nearly the right ball. He looked up and he saw, I think it was Joe Aribo off that right-hand side, and he was just too... The angle of the pass just wasn't good enough, and it was intercepted by the Leicester City defenders. It is 2-0 to Fulham. I'm just looking to see who the goal scorer is for Fulham, because I'm sure all you FPL fans will be interested. It was Paulinho with an Andreas Pereira assist, obviously formerly of Manchester United. If you haven't already, should I say, joined the SRL Sport YouTube FPL League for this season, then you will find the code, as I sound like I've just had the wind taken out of me there, you will find the code scrolling across the bottom of your screen. So if you want to join us, there's about 40 of us in it this year. We've upped ourselves by 11. We're getting bigger. The SRL community's growing. But if you would like to join us and you'd like to have, maybe you think, I can beat Jordan Spence, which is pretty easy, or maybe you think you can beat the GOAT that is Curly, then absolutely get yourselves involved. And it's a great sort of environment. And if you haven't already as well, do be sure to smash that like button for us, guys. There's Bella Copter. I need to stop calling that. Bella Copsher. Bella Copter. It just sounds like helicopter. It's making me laugh. I do apologise. Lovely ball out wide there to Timothy Castagna. Into James Maddison, who's going to try and turn his way out. Has to drop it back. Maddison, everything so far going through him and Dewsbury Hall. The link up between the two of them has been fantastic thus far. Here is Maddison once again. Maddison looking for the feet of Ayoze Perez, who shrugs off. I think that was Gineppo who had stepped out. But Southampton give the ball back once again, even though Gineppo had won that one back. Johnny Evans going to switch it towards Timothy Castagna. Headed clear again by Southampton. They are under the cosh just a little bit there. Mara tries to break free. Decent feet there, but he's lost the ball, and Daniel Amati can win it back once again. Here is Timothy Castagna. He's going to take the ball up the field, is he? He needs some movement in front of him. Lovely 1-2, and Castagna whips it in, and that is over hit, and that might go... No, it's not going to quite go through towards that back post, towards Harvey Barnes. But Kyle Walker-Peters, though, did his job that time, but he's going to need some help defending here, because Southampton are absolutely Backs against the wall at the moment. Backs against the wall. I can't remember if I updated the Fulham score now. No, they've said that. Yeah, I did. I did at the bottom. Nice. Amati finds Castagna. He might have given the ball away there. He nearly did, I tell you what. Lavia just sweeping over. He's had a good game so far. The young man just signed from Manchester City. It is so weird seeing all these new players playing for Southampton. Speaking of new, there's no Wesley Fofana today, who might be making a move to Chelsea. I'm not sure on how much Brendan Rodgers can continue to say that he needs or he can keep Wesley Fofana. Here's Castagna. He's going to cut in on that left foot. Rolls it back to... Oh, lovely play. Here's Timothy Castagna. Oh, that's a fantastic tackle. That is a fantastic tackle. I think that was Salisu who had just cut across there. It was a lovely little 1-2 between Iosi, Perez and Castagna. Great awareness. And then just as Castagna is about to let rip, as if it was a Beyblade, he gets his leg in the way. Porto versus Sporting. Score prediction. Aston Villa are now 2-1 down. So after an incredible start in that game, we've had another goal. But Aston Villa now are 2-1 down. Right, let's have a look. Let's change this. I'm trying to change the Crystal Palace score whilst talking about Jordan and Porto. I don't know. I don't know if Porto's still got at the moment. I can't believe Luis Diaz managed to move to Liverpool, Jordan. I still can't believe that. Still can't believe it. I'm going to go 3-1 to Sporting just to wind you up. That's well won back by Adam Armstrong. Is Mara onside there? He might be. He's going to play on. And he's bearing down on the goal. And he's going to put it in the back of the net. And he's offside. He's off. Why? Why? If he's offside, why not just put the blooming flag up? Why? It was a good finish from the young man, to be fair to him. He's done well. He's calm. He's composed. But why? He's quite a way offside there as well. He's at least a yard offside. Why aren't we just putting the flag up there? What is the point? What is the point in letting him play on? Curly's gone 4-3 Porto. It'll definitely be a confidence booster though for Mara. It was a good little run. Found himself in the right place, and I'd be worried if I was Danny Ward. You might as well have Huddersfield Town's Danny Ward in goal by the looks of things. Oh, there has been a score correction as VAR have ruled out Crystal Palace's goal. Maybe that'll just give the boost to. Maybe that'll just give a boost to Crystal Palace. To Southampton, because they have looked pretty flat so far, and we've not really seen James Ward-Prowse, who is usually so influential in games like this. But I'm interested to see now if they will be able to push on, as Leicester look like they've just about regained possession. Poor defending from Villa, and apparently it would have been a good goal. That's a shame. That's a shame. It's always a shame when good goals are ruled out. Oh, I've got an itchy face today. Oh. I'm winless in 2 PL matches this season. If it helps, there is only 2 games that we've played, so it's not like it's a big stat there. I think he scored more goals in 2 games for Liverpool than he did for you. He just never looked good at finishing, did he, Luis Diaz? I remember, to be fair, you can probably look on our streams, actually, Jordan, from the games that we streamed between Chelsea and Porto. Both of us were like, he just doesn't have an end product. He didn't have an end product, as Maddison's going to whip one towards a man that does have an end product in Jamie Vardy. Probably shouldn't have gone for the header there. Probably should have tried something a little bit different. Maybe try to get the ball down. But like I say about Luis Diaz, that was the thing. Me and Jordan, I know obviously, both of us aren't exactly the faces of physical fitness, but like, he just didn't have the end product, and I think that was clear to see at Porto. And of course, Jurgen Klopp will try to get the best out of Luis Diaz, but he just didn't quite have that final product. And so when Liverpool bought him and spent big money on him, I was very sceptical. I still am sceptical. Like, that goal against Crystal Palace was a fantastic goal, but you do get those 1 in a million strikes. And for me, I've not seen enough from Luis Diaz for a 1 in a million strike. He's a great dribbler of the ball, but when he goes back to basics and does the basic stuff right, that's when he's at his most dangerous. It really is. That is when he is at his most dangerous. Thoughts on the Timo Werner transfer? I think it's a bit strange that we've let him go. I know obviously Timo Werner wasn't happy with being in England. Nothing to do with like Tuchel or anything like that. He clearly wasn't full of confidence as he was when he was at RB Leipzig previously. But, I think Chelsea, if they're selling Timo Werner and they've sold Lukaku, or they've loaned out Lukaku for the season, why aren't we going for another striker? And that is the question. I don't know the answer to that one. I don't know why we wouldn't go for a striker. It seems a little bit baffling to me that you wouldn't go for a striker, considering your main striker who you spent 90 million on last season, you've sent out on loan because he didn't want to be at the club. And the backup striker who scored, 5 goals last season, has also gone. So it's a weird one, but to be honest with you, as long as Timo Werner's happy, I'm happy, because I like the guy. He put in a lot of hard work and effort. Speaking of players who put in hard work and effort, Gineppo does really well there to drop that one back to Salisu, who clips the ball forward towards Adam Armstrong, but it's well won back by Wilfred Ndidi. Did he win it? Indeed he did. And there is James Maddison, back to Ndidi. Indeed it is. God, I need to stop that joke. That joke is so dead. Diaz greater than Mason Mount? I don't know at the minute. I've not seen enough of Chelsea play so far this season. They're different types of players as well. I know you're trying to get a nibble out of me, but I genuinely don't think Diaz is a much better dribbler. Mount has a better all-round game. It's a weird one. Touches in the opposition box, 2 for Southampton, 12 for Leicester City, and that'll tell you really paint a picture of how this first half is going if you aren't watching at home with me. That is a good touch though down that right hand side by Kyle Walker-Peters, who does look bright when he gets himself on the ball, but James Justin at the moment is more than equal to his England teammate. They do look, Leicester City, very much in control at the moment. Very much in control. And I'm quite surprised at the way that they've played so far. Like I said, I haven't actually seen that much of the football so far this season, with me being busy, and of course, life does just get in the way. But that's not a good sight. Bazanu has just gone down and he's receiving a little bit of treatment. The Southampton goalkeeper, as I mentioned, made a move from Manchester City, only 20 years of age, but he has gone down and he's got a little bit of an injury. They might try and keep him out until half time to try and not make that sub too early on, and see if he can run it off. But James Ward-Prowse just taking that opportunity whilst his goalkeeper is down, just to get a few extra pointers and tips from his manager. He definitely needs it. We've not really mentioned him so far, have we, James Ward-Prowse? It's been a quiet start for Southampton overall, and James Ward-Prowse is one of those players who you definitely need to be at their top of their game when things aren't going well, and at the moment we've just not quite seen him, but that could all change in a matter of seconds. And an opportunity like a throw-in from Mohamed Salisu could be a great opportunity. It's launched in, headed clear initially though by Johnny Evans. Salisu's going to try and fake shot his way past Wilfred Ndidi, and that was nice and easy. Did he do it? Indeed he didn't. Is anyone bored of the Ndidi pun yet? No, I don't think so. We'll carry on. We're carrying on. We are most certainly carrying on with that one. Indeed I am. Get it? Indeedy. Indeed. Yeah, I'll be here all day. I can show myself out if need be. James Justin drops it back to Johnny Evans. Let's see if Leicester can make the most then. They've got 12 minutes before half-time. Can they make the most of this early pressure that they have put on Southampton? The goalkeeper for Southampton, Bazanu, has got himself back onto his feet, so maybe just a little bit of a twinge, maybe just needed a bit of a stretch of the calf, a bit of the magic sponge, if you will. But he's back on his feet and he will be back playing as well. Let's see, guys. Let's see how many likes we are on at the moment. Let's have a gander. God, Josh's stream's doing well. 92 people in there. Good stuff. If we can get ourselves up to 15 likes across the course of the stream, that would be absolutely fantastic. And do be sure as well, as always, if you are new, to smash that subscribe button if you do enjoy this stream. Here is James Maddison, who's going to roll one forward in towards Ayoze Perez as Scunthorpe go 3-0 up as Curly keeps us up to date. I don't know why you're keeping us up to date with Scunny today. I feel like you do this every time. You just pick a random player. I'm really hoping that's just a visual glitch on my live stream there. It was, because it just all of a sudden went really dark on my screen. Oh, that's won back well by Kyle Walker-Peters. Is there an opportunity for Elyounoussi to break away? No, James Justin shuts the door on that opportunity for a counter-attack there. Two people in the stream. Sounds chaos. Sounds like utter chaos. Aribo, good hold-up play there. Really good hold-up play there. And he tries to unleash Elyounoussi down that right-hand side. And unfortunately, Johnny Evans managed to get himself in the way. And that'll be a goal kick as well. Done very well there, actually, to get a goal kick for Danny Ward. And Leicester City. I'm trying to work out if you guys can hear the commentary that's coming through on my laptop. I don't think so. You delivered to James Kennan the other day. Wow. Wow. I've not heard that name in a while. I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. I wonder if he recognised you now that you've not... Well, you are curly, but you don't have curly hair. James Justin has just dropped into like a defensive midfield role at the moment. Interesting. Let's see where that one develops. That's a lovely flick out wide by Ayoze Perez. Bet he wished he'd stayed at Newcastle. He could have had an absolute bumper deal, couldn't he? But I guess that would be wishful thinking at the time when Ayoze Perez left. Here's Harvey Barnes. Goes down that left-hand side. Tries to get past Kyle Walker-Peters. Is there going to be a foul in there? I'm a little bit unsure, to be honest. I think the referee's given it. I think Kyle Walker-Peters is actually appealing that he should have been fouled by Harvey Barnes there. I think that might have been it. It's a little bit clumsy from the two of them, to be honest. They're running together. They both trip each other up. Coming together, both tripping each other up. And Kyle Walker-Peters is eventually given away the foul. And I think he was genuinely, like I say, appealing that actually... I haven't given away the foul there. Harvey Barnes is the one who has tripped me. I feel like that's what he was thinking there. Maddison on this free kick. Dangerous position. Is going to be whipped in all the way in. Oh, good save, Bazanu. I tell you what, I did not know where that was going to land. I did not know where that was going to land, and it's a good save. You had to stay alert there. James Maddison's put some, I was going to say whip, sip, dip, whip and curve on that one, and it's managed to somehow go out for a throw-in instead of a corner, so a little bit of an ease of pressure here. Here's Amati into Ndidi. Johnny Evans looking long. Good ball out wide to Timothy Castagna, into the feet of Maddison, who tries a cheeky little flick, looking for Dewsbury Hall, but it was flicked on and defended easily by Southampton. Southampton have won the ball back again. Here's Moussa Djenepo pushing up from that left-back role. He's not quite had the bursts of energy that I was expecting, with him being restricted at left-back at the moment that we usually see. Here's Haribo. Just sounds like I'm saying Haribo funny. Walker-Peters in toward Prowse, who's going to put a deep ball in towards Adam Armstrong. That was easily defended there by Castagna. Leicester just trying to play their way out as well. A bit of a press from Haribo. Eventually hoofed upfield, looking for Jamie Vardy, headed by Salisu. And there was a foul given away there by Elianusi, who was coming back trying to defend. Gave away a foul on the Leicester player. Interesting first half so far, as we've got just over 7 minutes left. It has been a very interesting first half. I know obviously I was optimistic that we'd get a lot of goals like we've seen in the past, but so far the football's been decent in terms of a Leicester City perspective. Southampton are struggling. I think it's only a matter of moments before we see a goal. And to be honest with you, it would... Harvey Barnes has just nicked the ball right high up the field here, and that might... Oh my gosh, that was nearly the most curse of the commentator thing you've ever seen, because I tell you what, Southampton gave the ball away really, really in a bad position, and I think it's the young man in CDM, I believe it is. He played it behind James Ward-Prowse. Fortunately, James Ward-Prowse just does enough to give Harvey Barnes an angle, and that was very, very fortunate there. A bit of a let-off for Southampton. A little bit of a let-off for Southampton. Just checking the scores elsewhere as well whilst we do this. Dewsbury Hall currently on a 7.3 match rating. Does not surprise me one bit. Yeah, it was Lavia, the CDM, who gave the ball away there. And nearly caused trouble for his own teammates. Going to be knocked forward there by Bella Kopcha. Johnny Evans makes an interception. Here is Harvey Barnes looking for Jamie Vardy, who is another player who's been quiet. The role of Jamie Vardy has completely changed, I must say. You're so used to seeing over the previous years Jamie Vardy running in behind, putting loads of pressure on, trying to cause problems. Now his job is get the ball in the back of the net. And even last season he managed to find himself double figures in a season which, to be honest with you, for a lot of the time was quite quiet. He didn't recognise you. Oh, that's a shame, Curly. Batman says Leicester City really let themselves go. It's really disappointing they aren't investing in the club. Absolutely. Absolutely. What have you got on the back of your Samsung shirt? That one doesn't have anyone on the back, Dean. That one doesn't. That's from... I don't know what year that's from. 2008? 2007? I didn't get them with them on the back. Vardy to Huddersfield. To be fair, I'd love to see that. That would be incredible. I mean, of course I'd love to see that. It's Jamie Vardy. But in terms of actually playing for Huddersfield, like, I genuinely think Huddersfield could get the best out of Jamie Vardy. I genuinely think they could. Put him alongside Sorba Thomas and he'd have the time of his life. I tell you what, Sorba Thomas would do all the running, pull it back. There you are. Nice little tapping for you, Jamie Vardy. Nice little tapping for you. Yeah, Leicester do definitely need to invest. Even just looking at this now, they're very sort of one-dimensional. And obviously, like I said earlier, reliant on Maddison, reliant on Keane and Dewsbury Hall as well. And at the moment, it's not quite worked out for them, has it? Not quite worked out for them whatsoever. Do you think the owner dying had an impact on the downfall of Leicester? Not really. That was a few seasons ago. That was quite a while ago now, actually, Curly. I don't think it would have impacted too much. You know, even if he hadn't died in such a awful way, if it had just died regularly, it wouldn't have changed anything. At the end of the day, it was always going to be taken over by the same, like his son anyway. So, not particularly, no. Brendan Rodgers for the sack. I think you've maybe you got to give him to Christmas. Give him to Christmas, see where you can get it. But to be honest with you, he's bottled Champions League football twice, hasn't he? For Leicester City. Excuse me. He's bottled Champions League or European football at least? He's bottled twice with Leicester City. So there are question marks. It just depends on how far they can take him. But I think you give him a little bit of time, see how Leicester get on this season without transfers and stuff like that, because it is possible to do well. You look at Tottenham a few seasons ago, although of course they didn't win a trophy, they did do very well, having not made a single signing all season long, just using the same squad. So it's not vital that you have to make signings, but when you lose your captain and your goalkeeper, you would expect them definitely to make a change. Fraser says it's been a goal to Brentford, which does make it Fulham 2, Brentford 1. So looks like we've picked the wrong game here, ladies and gents, doesn't it? As the ball gets knocked long there, looking towards Jamie Vardy, safely though into the hands of Bazanu. Two-one. God, I am watching the wrong game, aren't I? I literally didn't go on Fulham Brentford because I was like, oh, no one will really care about that. There won't be too many goals. I thought I'll go Leicester Southampton. They've had a good history of goals. Oh, well, not a good history for Southampton anyway. But they've had a good history for goals, and just a little bit frustrating. Just got distracted by my work phone, which was just sat next to me then, vibrating. Batman says Leicester City should have copied Wolves because Wolves' transfer strategy is great. Yeah, you've kind of got to find your own feet with it. They've been pretty good over the last few seasons, to be honest with you. Leicester City at finding good talent. You know, you look at the likes of Youri Tielemans, James Maddison himself, of course, used to play for Norwich. So they've done a good job. Kante, and Didi, all of these have been great signings. 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. But realistically, they do need to be doing more. They do need to be doing more in this transfer window because, like I say, they're not moving upwards at the moment. They're just looking side by side. And Wolves are consistently, like you say, bringing in these players who are at a good standard and are putting in good performances, and they're consistently doing that. And it's kind of like the Leicester of old, where they used to just, bring in a player and it would replace nice and quickly. But at the moment, it just isn't quite there for them at the moment, as Keane and Dewsbury Hall might be able to pull this one back. Oh my gosh, Gineppo, what a vital tackle that was. That was unbelievably vital. I'm not sure Gineppo will ever know how vital that touch was there, as he literally just stepped up right at the right time. His defensive awareness at the moment is fantastic. But that is it. That is half time, and it's Leicester City 0, Southampton 0. Leicester have had the majority of possession so far, haven't they? Leicester City, they have been the team that have looked the most threatening, but that doesn't really matter at the end of the day, as it is still Leicester City 0, Southampton 0, and that is the real only scoreline, or only stat that really matters, isn't it? Is the scoreline at the end of the day. Right, let's get all of these up to date. We're just going to change this one in the top right to say second half, because I can't be bothered to change it to say half time and then to second half and faff around with that. But there we are. We are at half time. Guys, you've got to let me know. Are you happy just to sit chatting? Or would you guys like a little bit of a half-time game? Would you like a bit of Guess the Player? Is that something that you guys would be interested in? I feel like it would be. If I can get this open. Let's get Guess the Player on my other screen for us, ladies and gents. And then we can have a little bit of a Guess the Player quiz whilst we wait for half-time. Like I say, I think I've been more disappointed in the fact that Southampton haven't really haven't really come out fighting or come out kicking in that first half. And I think Southampton and Ralph Hasenhüttl and James Ward-Prowse will be very disappointed with that in themselves, because there's a lot of talent in this Southampton team. And yes, there's quite a few young players who are just sort of starting to find their feet in the Premier League. But I do think they will be annoyed that they haven't been able to, when they hit on the counter-attack, be able to do more. And that, fundamentally, at the end of the day, that is what they need to do. They need to do more. They need to find the back of the net. They need to hit and score and get shots on target, else they won't score. Who scored for Brentford? It was Nordgaard. Nice. Just looking at a few scores on the door. So at half-time it is Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 1. Jeffrey Schlupp did have a goal ruled out in that one on 25 minutes. Everton 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Let's have a look at some of the stats for that. Is it Everton dominating? Not really. Ball possession-wise, goes in favour of Nottingham Forest, who've also had the better XG so far. Obviously, like we mentioned, Fulham 2-1 up against Brentford. And then in this game as well, Leicester City 0, Southampton 0. If the game isn't Jose or not Jose, I'm not interested. I do apologise. I haven't played that in ages. It's so much better when I got someone else to join me. But unfortunately, on Streamlabs, it isn't a feature of Streamlabs. And it looks a lot better like this. It does look a lot better like this when we've got this little setup going on. Just before we get into it, player to watch this season is Wolves' Matheus Nunes. I will take your word on that one, Batman, because I know nothing about him. Right, I'm sure Jordan will, as he's a Portuguese football fan, allegedly. Fraser wants guess the player on beginner. This is going to be a walk in the park, Fraser, but I'm doing it for you. I don't know why that's on that screen. How is that on that screen? That's not on my screen. What? How is that on my screen? That is... What? I am so confused. How have you managed that? How have you... I don't know. Why is that there? Let's try this one. What? Let's just press Google Chrome, see if that comes up. How? That's not even... I don't even have that open, do I? I don't even think I've got that open. That's so weird. That is so strange. I do apologise, ladies and gents. I don't know how it's managed to do that. We'll just do a display capture. And then hopefully, if we do that... Oh, that's going to choose that screen. I want it to be this screen. And not to cover me up. That would be helpful. There we are. Turn it on semi-pro. I want a challenge. Good lads. You need a bit of a challenge every now and then. Every now and then I fall apart. Why would I have other tabs open? But there we are. Let's have a look. We'll go semi-pro. World class can be a bit hard sometimes. So we will go for this. And let's get ourselves kicked off with what looks like a Manchester United legend. I'll let you chuck that word around. I think I know who this is already. But they started their youth career at Manchester City. I do hope you can see that okay. Let me check my phone to make sure that is zoomed in. Yeah, you should be able to see that. That's nice and readable. So it starts off at Manchester City, 85 to 87 in his youth career, and then Manchester United, 87 to 92. Then their senior career from 1990 to 2014. They made 672 appearances for Manchester United, scoring 114 goals. At national team level, they have played, not only have they played for Wales 64 times, they've also played for England under 15s, whatever England Schule is, which I'm assuming is England school, but I don't know what that means. England under 16s, Wales under 18s, Wales under 21s, and then Wales for 64 times, and of course was a part of Team GB. This should be a nice easy one for you, to be honest with you. And teams managed says Manchester United. It will say a couple more down there, but it doesn't quite let me. That's as far as my screen will scroll for some reason. But let's have a look. You've got 5 letters. Can any of you guess who the player is? Guess the player. Fraser's gone Ryan Giggs. And Fraser, I believe you are... Oh, I don't know how I've done that. You are a cinema. It is Ryan Giggs. He's in a little bit of trouble at the moment, so we'll move on from him as soon as we can. Don't want to endorse anyone who we shouldn't be endorsing. Next up. This might be difficult. This will certainly be difficult by the looks of things. A Birmingham City player in the 80s. I don't think we're getting this. I do not think we are getting this. Unless Jordan's going to come out with some worldly knowledge from 1995, the year he was born, I think. I don't think we're going to have much opportunity. But that Arsenal 1987 to 2000 is a big shout. Fraser's saying skip. I'm going to try and work it out myself. If anyone else has any ideas who it could be, what we will do is we will give ourselves a little bit of a clue. We're going to give ourselves a first name. It is Nigel. The Voorname is Nigel. Voorname is Nigel. Okay. English. Only made 2 appearances for England between 1989 and 1993. That is mental, considering they've played 440 times for Arsenal. Peter Crouch, says Curly. 96, mate. Oh, you're a 96, are you? My brother's a 96, baby. The year above him, that's why I said... That's why I said 95. The name of my Wi-Fi password, it looks like it's going to be a long name. We'll go for the picture, and if anyone knows it, scream from the back. I don't know who that is. If anyone does, shout at the back, but I'm going to give you probably about 20 seconds to see if you know who that player was. Nigel isn't much of a footballer's name, is it? Nigel de Jong is the only one I can think of relatively recently called Nigel. Of course, made that cruncher of a tackle. Let's go for a solve. Yeah, don't think I was ever getting that. I still can't see what his name is anyway. It's like Winterburn or something like that. So we will we'll move on. But like I say, only 2 appearances. Having played 440 times for... I know who this one is already. For Arsenal, that is pretty mental to only have 2 England appearances or 2 England caps. Nigel Mansfield, what? Nigel Manson, get him from the F1. Right, next up. Like I say, I guess this. I know this one instantly. I saw Sociedad and knew who this one was. So starting ourselves off. They were at Valencia. They went to Eidbar on loan whilst they were at Valencia for a couple of seasons. Then they were at Celta Vigo on loan. Then they were at Valencia, back at Valencia. Then they went to Manchester City for 10 years, making 306 appearances with 59 goals. Now they're at Real Sociedad. Looking at the national team, they are a Spanish international. Can someone tell me who this is? Looks like Fraser's pretty on the ball with this one today. It's a 5-letter word, and David Gold is definitely his brother. It is David Silva. Oh, if I can type Sivler. David Silva. Boom. There we are, David Silva. I forgot he shaved his head. That was a weird time, wasn't it? Can't remember what he shaved his head for. Was it because his daughter had was ill or something like that? I was trying to make sure I phrased that correctly then. Right, let's have a look. This one might be quite a hard one. Senior career. Who is the big team that they've played for here? Sheffield United. An Irish footballer who used to play for Sheffield United, and by used to play, and they played for Leeds 76 times. I'm not sure I know the answer to this one. More hair than Pepe. Than Pepe? Than Pep. Well, than Pepe as well, to be fair. But to be fair, Pepe does thingy his. Let's go for a joker on this one. There's no picture for it, which is a little bit worrying. We're going to go first name. Mc. Nope. Someone called Paddy. Not John Egan. No. Not John Egan. Someone called Paddy. Again. What's a typical Irish last name? Someone give me a typical Irish last name and we'll whack it in. There's 5 letters. And then we'll go Paddy the Baddie. It could be. We'll try it. B-A-D-D-Y. It's... Oh! We got the Y right. It wasn't what we thought it was, but we got the Y right at the end. I think we're going to have to skip this one. Paddy McGuinness. I don't think so. Let's go joker. Let's go letter. Okay, well, you just gave us the letter we already had. What is going on? Right, we're just going to press solve. Paddy Kenny. Oh, I actually do know who he is. Oh, that's embarrassing. Right. Right, here we go, ladies and gents. Here we go. So we have ourselves. This is throwing me off. I'm going to have to really think about this one. We have ourselves a French international who has played 81 times for France between the years 2004. I know who it is. Between the years 2004 and 2012. The way that you guys will know him, I assume, is through 2007 to 2013. There was 149 appearances for Chelsea Football Club. And he also made 138 appearances for Lyon before joining Chelsea. He then went to Trabzonspor before going to Metz, then Delhi Dynamos, then whatever those two teams are, and then Differdingen as the final one. But he's a French international who retired, by the looks of things, in 2018, but played for Chelsea between 2007 and 2013. I've just got to work out if I've got enough letters there for the player I think it is. I think I know who it is. I'll give you guys a little bit of time, see if you guys can work this one out. But if not, I will give you the answer. Mbappe, I don't think Kylian Mbappe played for Chelsea between the ages of 8 and 13. I don't think Mbappe was playing football for Chelsea. Unfortunately, Curly, I don't think that was quite right. Griezmann, again, not quite right there, not quite right. You've gone a bit quiet in the chat here, so I'm assuming that means, between the two of you, that you don't actually know who this player is. And if you don't know who this player is, then we shall see if I know who the player is. And I'm going to reveal, this is going to be either really embarrassing, but there you are, there is the first letter. Henri. Curly, you're not even naming French players now. You can't just say Buffon. You're not even naming French players. The player is Florent Malouda, who used to play for Chelsea. A very good player, actually, in his prime. Very, very good player, actually, for Chelsea. And bit of a cult legend, I guess. A bit of a cult legend. Next up, I'm going to scroll down here because what... I do not think we're getting this one. I think we're underway, actually, in the second half. I think they've just... Right, we didn't even get out of the ad break. The ad break ended, and then we got out for the second half. So there we are. We are out for the second half. I was just about to say, whilst you guys do that, I was going to nip for a wee, but I've been chucked in at the deep end, and now I'm back playing. Back watching the football. Right, we're back underway for the second half then. That snuck up on us. Thank you for those who played the half-time game. Hopefully you did have a little bit of a laugh, did learn something. As Adam Armstrong tries to cut in from that left-hand side. Really interested, actually. I do want to get No Way Jose back on the channel if I can at some point. Get that series, that halftime series that we had, because it was a great concept and it'd be really funny if we could get that if we could get that going. But unfortunately, I don't know how to get guests on here, which is a little bit annoying. It is a little bit annoying. I also hate, like, with the camera, if I sit here, I take up quite a lot of the screen, but if I sit back, I don't take up that much of the screen, and that really kind of annoys me from a creative perspective, because I want the camera to be as close as possible to me. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. Here's Dewsbury Hall trying to play the ball forward, and that was a poor ball, really. You knew that. You probably did know Florent Malouda, to be fair, Fraser. He was a very good player at times for Chelsea, like I say. Bit of a cult legend for Chelsea Football Club. As the rest of the games are getting kicked off across the country. For the second half, I need to take my watch off because I'm really sweaty. It's quite hot in here today. It's been another lovely day, I must say. Just me to put my watch down and then it goes off. Vardy's just taken out Bella Kopcha there. Bella Kopcha's just he's walking a little bit gingerly there, Bella Kopcha. Just a little bit gingerly. He's literally like struggling to get onto his feet. It must be a bit of a dead leg for him. Always a little bit painful. Just a reminder, guys, if you are watching and you are enjoying, do be sure to smash that like button for us, and do hit subscribe if you are new to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. We are still trying to fight our way to 1,000 subscribers. It feels like that day will never come, but hopefully it does sooner rather than later. I was hoping at one point it'd be by my birthday. We are now a month away, and we are still 270 subscribers away. It doesn't look, I'm not very optimistic that we'll reach 1,000 by my birthday, but if you want to be able to help us out and try to get us there, then as always, do be sure to smash that subscribe button for us. That would be absolutely fantastic. That would be immense. Oh, right. I want to sit back, but now I'm conscious I look really tiny on the screen. Oh well. Oh well. None of you guys really care. Here's Dewsbury Hall dancing into a little bit of space so far. For me, one of the bright sparks in this first half between both teams, to be honest with you. Ndidi. Oh, he tries to go for a long ball there to play that one through towards, I think that was Castagna, who was trying to make his run down that right hand side, but he's just overhit that one. Can we see some goals? I am desperate for some goals. My God. That would spice things up. That definitely would spice things up, especially a Southampton goal. That could really get the King Power up on their feet and get the fans behind them. They've been loud, they've been noisy, but my God. Curly, I have a girlfriend. You need to stop with those. You need to stop with those comments. I know it's true, but it's not right. Walker Peters is going to cut in on that left foot. It's whipped in there towards Adam Armstrong, but cleared by Amati. Jose Perez gets a little bit of luck there, and Castagna has managed to win himself a free kick. Both teams just a little bit scrappy at the beginning of the second half. Wesley Fofana there in the stand. Camera focused on him. Not named in the squad today, looking like he might be going to play in blue in London instead of in Leicester. Here is Harvey Barnes going down the left-hand side. Obviously, the man can't score unless it's an equaliser anyway, so no point in him doing it just now. That's what we need. We need Southampton to score. And then Harvey Barnes with an equaliser. That's how it's all going to unfold. I'm telling you that now. If you're a betting person, gamble responsibly, but whack a quid on that. And it's 2-2 between Fulham and Brentford. I've definitely picked the wrong game. 100%. I don't know how I do this every time. Look of the draw, innit? Look of the draw. Leicester gets back underway with a throw-in. Danny Ward into Johnny Evans. was a poor pass there from James Justin, who's given the ball back away to Southampton, but fortunately for him, Kyle Walker-Peters has returned the favour and kicked it back himself. 2-2 to Brentford. Who was the other scorer in that? Ivan Toney. Hey, Tony. Hey, Tony. Hey, Tony. 2-2. Crikey, Brentford had turned that one around, full of confidence, of course, after last weekend's result against Manchester United. Here's Ayoze Perez trying to drift into a little bit of room. Castagna, good touch on that right hand side, drops it into Ayoze Perez. Perez is going to try to squeeze a little bit of room. Can he use some fast feet to get away from Salisu? Try something special. Salisu stands strong and stands tall. Oh, VAR. I've just updated it, and VAR correction is 2-1. It's been ruled out for offside at Brentford. That's so unlucky. So unlucky for Brentford. But I won't complain, because that means FPL-wise, there's no one with Ivan Toney getting any bonuses over the top of me. Actually, that just reminded me. Let's have a look at FPL. Like I said earlier on, if you want to join our FPL league, it is scrolling across the bottom. The code is, the Connor Cody is, and I've only got 2 points so far. Oh, I've only had Matty Cash and Damari Gray play, to be fair. I've only had 2 points so far. But what was I going to say? Yeah, if you do want to join the code is scrolling across the bottom if you would like to join. Brentford's goal, though, their second goal of the day, which would have been an equaliser, has been ruled out. James Maddison with a free kick at the edge of the box. An opportunity potentially to get a good whipped ball into the box here. Let's see what he can do, Maddison. A goal here would definitely get the Leicester City fans alive and wake them up before they go. It is struck and it's gone in! Oh! That is lovely, and unfortunately, you're going to have to hear me say, wake him up before he goes, because that was a lovely strike. What a strike that is from James Maddison into the bottom corner, and that is why people are wanting to take him away from Leicester City this summer. That was a lovely strike right into the bottom corner, and he's caught the keeper off guard. He's caught Bazanu off guard, and it's a lovely finish from the man that is James Maddison, the talk of the town, the top creator for Leicester City, and it's a great little finish. It is a great finish from James Maddison from that free kick, direct and in. He's caught the keeper off guard, goes over the wall, bounces just as it goes into the net. To be honest, he couldn't have placed it better. He could not have placed it to better. Placed to perfection into that bottom corner, and James Maddison makes it Leicester City 1, Southampton 0, and that might just inject a little bit of excitement, is probably the best way to say it, into this game. Hopefully Leicester will get the wings in their sails, hopefully so, because that was a delicious strike from James Maddison, a really lovely strike, and deserved of a goal in itself. Like I say, they have been the better team thus far. They definitely have been the better team, Leicester City, but what a great strike that is. Definitely not against the run of play. Odds on Newcastle making a last minute bid for him again, they've made plenty of bids for him so far. We've got the one Ward-Prowse to get 3 now. Imagine if they were all from free kicks. Imagine that. Every goal in one game directly from a free kick. That would be absolutely mental. Obviously, if it was more than one goal, it's a bit less mental if it's just one free kick that wins it. Yeah, but Newcastle won't be surprised. They will go back in for him. They definitely will. I mean, so far he's single-handedly carrying Leicester City, particularly in terms of their goals and assists this season. 3 games in, he's already got himself a couple of goals and assists, and has been the highest-rated player. Dewsbury Hall, lovely touch again there, trying to get the ball and move away. Here is Carter Walker-Peters trying to open up some space. Southampton just can't get themselves out here. They're completely under the cosh. Eventually, they managed to get it to Ward-Prowse, who is calm enough and composed enough to get the ball away. Lavia is going to move that one out wide. Here's Gineppo, who's got a little bit of space to move into, and he will move into it on this left-hand side. Aribo has just dropped in a little bit deep. Here is James Ward-Prowse once again. I feel like Ward-Prowse is in a team now that maybe doesn't suit the way that James Ward-Prowse likes to play. And to be honest with you, like, the attackers aren't quite big enough to be able to pick up one of those delicious, like, little lofted balls into the striker, which James Ward-Prowse is so excellent at. But I honestly think he's one of those players who needs to get a move. It'll be like, otherwise he'll be like the Mark Noble of Southampton. He won't have made, well, Mark Noble didn't make a single appearance for England, but he won't have made too many appearances for, like, the national side. But he will have been consistently playing for one team for ages. Leicester are going to defend now, so that's the game going to finish 1-0, says Batman. That's his bold prediction for this second half. We've got about 30 minutes left, so hopefully not. Here is Adam Armstrong, lovely little nutmeg there, and it rolls and somehow falls into the path of Lavia, who's going to try pull it back there, and defended that time by Leicester City. Leicester City have every man behind the ball here. 7 people stood behind the ball there. It was literally a defensive 7 as Gineppo tries to wriggle away from Timothy Castagna. This is where the experience of teams is really going to count for Leicester City. What do they do at this moment in time? Like Batman says, are they going to sit back and are they going to sit back, try and hold on, get themselves the 3 points, get themselves over the line, or are they going to push forward, double their advantage, and really make sure that it is a goal? 1-0 is always the most dangerous scoreline in football, because you don't know if you should sit back and you don't know if you should go for it. That's a lovely turn there by Adam Armstrong at the edge of the box. It might fall there to Mara. It's going to fall there to Armstrong, but it's just taken a deflection on the way through. Here is Walker-Peters. Lovely feet to get away from Harvey Barnes. Walker-Peters goes to the byline, and that's blocked there by James Justin, and out for a Southampton goal. Out for a Southampton corner. They've definitely upped it now. That was completely different there, the way that they were playing, taking the ball to Leicester City. There is going to be a substitution, and I do believe this will be the first substitution of the game. I've not seen who's come off. It looks like it might be Mara, the new signing, and it will be Che Adams who does come on, the Scot. It's going to be whipped in there by James Ward-Prowse. It takes a deflection. Is that going to fall for anyone? Is there a penalty in there, ref? Maybe not. Dewsbury Hall ends up going down in a little bit of pain. It was all very, very clumsy. Crystal Palace have... What have I just seen? Crystal Palace missed a penalty. Right. Crystal Palace have missed a penalty in that one. I've definitely picked the wrong game there, haven't I? Let's watch this again. Oh, I tell you what. He has an appeal for a penalty here. Bella Kopcha. He has an appeal for a penalty there. If VAR don't check that, I'd be very, very surprised. Because Dewsbury Hall, yes, he clatters into him, but I think he's got away with one there. If Kopcha goes down, Wilfred Zaha's just made it 2-1 now that they've missed the penalty. I assume he's followed up and scored. 2 goals for Wilfred Zaha today. I think he scored the other day as well, didn't he? Sorry, I got distracted there. Yeah, I think if Bella Kopcha goes down there, I think Dewsbury Hall's in trouble. I do think he is. I could see Newcastle move in for James Ward-Prowse if they can't get Maddison. And Curly's put £1 on a Southampton win. I mean, that's probably not the worst place to put your money, as they've reacted quite well. Aribo at the back post, appealing for a handball as that one's whipped in. Just trying to update the scores for... Excuse me. Oh, God. Just trying to update the scores for Palace. Like Fraser says, Palace are ahead after missing a penalty. They still find themselves 1 goal to the good. They are just talking, as I said, at the back post when Aribo arrived at the back post about a handball. VAR have been checking it. James Ward-Prowse, though, is going to take the corner anyway. It's going to be an outswinger from James Ward-Prowse. Whipped in, headed, and it's... Oh, my gosh, I thought that was going in. Jamie Vardy on his toes there, literally in front of the goal to bring the ball down calmly as you like and then swivel and clear the ball out for another corner. Calm as you like there, Jamie Vardy. I tell you what, he was much more composed than myself. Much more composed than myself, because when that fell there, I had no clue where that one was going. Ward-Prowse tries to whip it in again. They're going to have to retake it, though, as there was a foul in there and a player on the floor. It was Bella Kopcha once again causing a few problems. Going to be another opportunity here then for Southampton from this corner. Can they make one of these count? It's been a good response. Been a really good response. Maddison, Ward-Prowse to the edge of the box. It's drilled in by Elyounoussi and blocked by, it looked like something from the training ground, that one did. Looked like they've worked on that one, but they've wasted it there with a poor shot from Elyounoussi. Here is Ward-Prowse once again, flicked on by Adam Armstrong. That's Spanners. He's had a penalty! Oof, Leicester City are causing themselves problems now. Che Adams running through there, completely blocked off by Amati. I'd have to watch it again, but from first viewing, it did look like it could have been a penalty from first viewing. Completely blocked off there, Che Adams, the Scot international. Do you think Chelsea? Do you think Southampton are missing Brozier? Potentially. He's a big striker, isn't he? A player to play the ball up into. I think they've always played better with 2 up front anyway. Southampton, I think they prefer that, and the style of play suits them a little bit better. Still 0-0 by the way in the Everton Nottingham Forest game. It's not like I've just been ignoring Everton and Nottingham Forest. There's just not been a goal as of yet. But yeah, like I say, he offers something different to some of these other strikers. He's a mobile, bigger striker that can move around nicely, and so I do think they will miss him. Even I know he only scored like 6 goals last season, but that's 6 that James Ward-Prowse didn't have to score. And at the end of the day, that's where the goals come from. It's those players who, James Ward-Prowse will score free kicks, he'll score pens all season long. But at the end of the day, when it's not from a set piece, you need players scoring. And Armando Brozier coming up with 6 last season when Che Adams came up with 9, 10 is definitely a good return, as Elyounoussi gets himself in the book there for a foul on James Justin. Justin made that look very, very dramatic. There is going to be a substitution as well. Unsure at the moment who for. There we are, that'll answer my question. Youri Tielemans and Patson Daka are the 2 warming up. Forgot they had a Youri Tielemans. Well, not Youri Tielemans, Patson Daka. Ayoze Perez is the man who is coming off for Patson Daka, I assume. And, okay, maybe not. Okay, Jamie Vardy's coming off, which means Patson Daka is coming off on for Jamie Vardy, and Tielemans is coming on for Ayoze Perez. So that will definitely be a change of formation for Leicester City. Maybe more of a 4-2-3-1 with 2 defensive midfielders, with Maddison in there as an attacking midfielder. Who knows? I'm sure we'll see. Patson Daka obviously will try to offer a few more legs in that striking role, but it looks like Dewsbury Hall has just moved up into attacking midfield. Maybe Maddison's going to play off that right hand side, Harvey Barnes off the left. So Leicester City making a change, making a change of formation. Maybe that's just a defensive move, get 2 defensive midfielders just to sit in there and break up any of the play that Southampton try and pick up. But I tell you what, Wolfen Ndidi's completely snapped James Ward-Prowse there. And I'm quite surprised that Wilfred Ndidi didn't get himself a yellow card, but Southampton wanted to play on as Gineppo is going to try switch the play into Kyle Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters has a little bit of space to move. He comes back though instead, back to James Ward-Prowse, who, like I mentioned earlier, wasn't really involved in the first half, but seems a lot more involved in this second half. The ball seems to be going through him more often than not. That might have been though in the first half, of course. Leicester were dominating, but since the goal, James Ward-Prowse and Southampton have been able to get on the ball just a touch more to be able to put the pressure on. Like Batman said earlier though, it does look like Leicester City are going to try and sit back and try to get themselves this win over the line. It'll be an important win come the end of the season potentially. There's going to be another substitution here. The other Armstrong is going to be coming on, Stuart Armstrong. Maybe everyone in Southampton's just got strong arms. Anthony Gordon would fit the Leicester size. Yeah, I could see that. Ademola Lookman did well, didn't he, when he was at Leicester? So I wouldn't be surprised if it did suit him quite well. Anthony Gordon supposed to be coming to Chelsea, allegedly £45 million deal that has been agreed. I'd love to see Rafael Leao at Leicester City. I think he'd still do well as a goal-scoring winger, but don't think that's going to happen now. I think I called it. Like I think I said maybe in January or something like that. It's going to be a long throw from Salisu. It's going to fall in the box, and that might be a good opportunity, and it's gone in! It's gone in! Che Adams has squeezed one over the line somehow. From that long throw-in, I said that might be an issue for him in the game. I said that earlier on. It's always a weapon to have. A long throw-in is always something that you need in your team. Not essential, but if you have it, you've got to use it. And it was clever. It was brought down. It was really, really clever. Good little bit of movement. Dropped in. I think that's Joe Aribo, who's done really well. Backs into his player, holds a Marty there, lovely little touchdown, as in touchdown of the ball. I'm not being an American football fan. And then side-footed placement right into the goal. James Justin potentially could have done better, but he's seen it through a crowd of bodies. And that is Leicester 1, Southampton 1. So maybe we might just get some of the goals that I was so desperately looking for anyway. That was a well-worked goal, that. Despite it being from a set-piece routine, realistically, wasn't it? A lovely little goal, and Southampton. That was. I'm impressed with the finish as well to squeeze it through a number of bodies. He's just hit it low and hard and done a half-decent job. We'll give him a half-decent job. It's managed to find its way in there from Che Adams, and that is the 67th minute for their goal. But we did mention, didn't we, how important has this been? How important has this been that Leicester, when they scored that first goal, that they got the best reaction out of themselves there, Southampton? Because since that Leicester goal, look at the times between these two goals. If I click off the screen so I can actually see them myself. 54 minutes, up until that 54th minute and that Maddison goal from the free kick. Southampton weren't in this game, and now they're going to try and push on and get themselves another goal. Here is Ward-Prowse back into Kyle Walker-Peters, who's going to try clip a ball in towards the box. Headed forward by Bella-Kotchap. I'm desperate for a wee. I might have to go for a wee in a second. I do apologise, ladies and gents. Afternoon, Tom. How are you doing, mate? Leicester City are in the same level as Everton. Ooh, Batman. What do you mean by that? Oh, that is a big call. That's a big Paul. Paul? Call. Right, Walker-Peters is just down. Nicked for a wait. I'll be back in 2. Right, we are back. 70 minutes on the clock. Oh, shorts are a bit tight. And we are back. Fortunately, nothing's happened whilst I've been gone. Now I'm gone. Yeah, what do you mean by that, Batman? What do you mean they're at a similar level? Is it like you think they're going to be battling at a similar position in the table, or the way that they are, their structure is at the moment? Is that what you mean by a similar level? That's really well played there by Che. I think that's Joe Aribo actually to shrug him off. Here's Gineppo who's going to stand up across towards the back post, and Kyle Walker-Peters arriving at that back post does really well. Wins himself a corner. James Justin fuming about something. I think he was appealing maybe for an offside down that left-hand side. Or maybe even a foul because it was a little bit close. Dortmund just lost a 2-0 lead. Sorry, I'm getting really distracted by some of these notifications. They have. Honestly, someone checked the Borussia Dortmund score. Borussia Dortmund, after 89 minutes, were 2-0 up. And now 90 plus 5, Borussia Dortmund have lost 3-2. Unbelievable scenes in Germany. Shame I'm not watching that one. But, you know, we never get those. It's the SRL channel. You know, the one time we did get a good game was it Leicester versus? It was Leicester versus Tottenham. That was a good game. To be fair, this has been a half decent game. Since that first goal, it completely shifted its momentum so far, though. And Brentford have apparently just equalised as well. Commentators there just saying, I feel like there's more goals. And I said earlier, I think I can see some goals in this game. I'm sticking with my 2-2. If anyone has their bet has gone or their score prediction has gone already, do be sure to let us know what your updated score prediction is for this one. What am I trying to change? That's a good ball in towards the back post there. Good save there by Danny Ward, who's come to collect that one. I'm changing the Brentford score, aren't I? Let's have a look who scored as well for Brentford. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we are. Fraser said 2-1 Leicester, so Fraser's still on. I'm still on for mine. I think quite a few of us are still on for our score predictions. But let's see who's going to react the best with the remaining time left to play. Patson Daka, are we going to see a goal from him as Bella Kopcha rolls the ball back to Bazanu, and it's cleared upfield towards the Leicester City defenders. Curley said 3-1 Southampton. You've still got an opportunity. It's apparently 3-1 to Crystal Palace as well. It has just come through. Ivan Toney's got the second goal for Brentford in that game. An assist from Visa, and Jean-Philippe Mateta has also scored with an assist from Tyreek Mitchell. Wilfried Zaha's doing everything at the moment. He'll be on his third goal so far this season. Wilf Zaha, third goal in 2 games. Yes, he will be on his third goal in 2 games. He didn't get a goal in the first game. Thought it was going to be 4 goals in 3 games there, but it's not. But wow. Had a good day for goals, unless you're a Everton or a Nottingham Forest fan. Oh, that's not right, folks. Scrolling text. Let's update that across the bottom. Josh is not going to be happy. I feel like he's going to be moaning a little bit in that chat. Let's have a look then. Kyle Walker-Peters going to drive forward. Dortmund have just bottled a 2-0 lead against Bremen. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Unbelievable. I thought they were 2-0 up. I thought I'd seen that they were 2-0 up, and then I saw 3-2. I was like, no way. But what a turnaround that is, though, for Bremen. Fair play to them. Oh. Fair play. If you haven't already, guys, and you are enjoying, do be sure to smash that like button for us. Do hit subscribe as well. That would be absolutely fantastic. There's Bella Kopcha there. Is fouled once again. Been impressed with the young German so far. A little bit of a clumsy tackle there from Patson Daka. Bit Jamie Vardy-esque, really. Didn't really need to commit to that one. Yellow card there for Patson Daka. Probably deserved. I think that might be the first yellow card of the game so far. Harvey Barnes is going to be coming off as well, just on 75 minutes. Let's see who he is coming on for. We haven't seen the camera pan to anyone yet. It is Kelechi Iheanacho, who is the man who is coming on, of course. A man who had a fantastic purple patch a couple of seasons ago, had a fantastic season, and last season didn't really hit the ground running as we would have expected. Ward-Prowse is going to whip in this free kick. That's a good ball in. Is that going to fall in the box? No. Patson Daka making up for the fact he gave away the foul, clears that one off the line. That's good feet at the edge of the area. The space if James Ward-Prowse can see it out on that left-hand side, and he's just slightly overhit that long ball over the top towards Stuart Armstrong there. Couldn't quite pull off the pass, but we're going into the business end of this game now, aren't we? We've got what we got left. We've got just under 15 minutes left here, and both sides, particularly Southampton, looking like they are wanting to win this one. Joe Aribo, good touch into Stuart Armstrong. Hits a Marty, and they're able to clear, but they've given the ball away again at the edge of the box here. That's fantastic feet there by Lavia, and it's a good tackle in the end, but I think that was Wilfred Ndidi who managed to step up. Indeed he did manage to step up. Kyle Walker-Peters drives into some space. Is he going to get away from Ndidi? Ndidi is. He's going to fall to the edge of the box to Armstrong, and he's blazed it over. He's absolutely blazed it over. That was a poor finish, that, from Stuart Armstrong. Yeah, don't do that one again, Stuart. Don't do... Stu. Don't. Batman says... it's like a weird game of Simon Says, that one. Both Leicester and Everton are having the same issues. No future players, and they don't want to sell their best players. That would make sense. Damien says, I have Armstrong in my FPL team. Do you have Stuart Armstrong or Adam Armstrong, Damien? But great to see you, mate. Hope you're doing okay. If you're in my league, that's absolutely fantastic. But if you're not, you can see that it's just left the screen now. But you can have a look and join our FPL league if you fancy joining us, Damien. Be great to see him. He's bloody missed it! Is that what you're wanting, Curly? I think that's what you were wanting. There's Gineppo. Just fouled there by Kelechi Iheanacho. I nearly called him Ian Armstrong there. Kelechi Ian Armstrong. I'm just waiting for Gineppo to get back on his feet. Stuart Armstrong, Damien has. Yeah, I wouldn't be keeping him on that one. I wouldn't be keeping him on after that strike. That wasn't the greatest. That was not the greatest. Gineppo now just getting a bit of treatment from the physios. Hopefully we'll be back underway in a second. Perfection. Thank you, Curly. Thank you. Oh, you're on about the impression, not me. Oh. Brendan Rodgers. A penny for his thoughts right now. What can he do to get the best out of his team and stop pretty much the momentum here? Leicester really have taken their foot off the gas at the moment. Damien does have Maddison. To be fair, that's a good shout. He did score a lovely free kick as well earlier. So that'll be some nice points for you, Damien. Like I say. If you aren't in our FPL league, do be sure to join it. The code is 8HIOHK or something like that. Scrolling across the bottom here, 8KIOHK. There you are. If you wanted to join, you're more than welcome to. There's about 40 people in the league, a lot of the SRL community. It is also in the description as well if you want to check that out, so you can copy and paste it. AJ fight prediction. People are going to fight. That is my prediction, and Thomas Tuchel will win. That is my prediction for tonight's fight. Just over 10 minutes left. I'm not sure which way this is going. I can still see there being a couple more goals in this game. I can't see this being the end of the game, unfortunately. In terms of the full-time result, I can't believe Brentford have managed to pull that back. 2-0 down to 2-all. 2-0 down in like 15 minutes as well. They've worked hard to get themselves back into that one. Tielemans finds Castagna into the feet of Maddison, And that wasn't quite what he intended. The ball was zipped into him, though, at such a rate of knots. He wasn't able to actually get the ball down. Maddison does apologise, though. I don't quite know what James Maddison was trying there. It looked like he was a little bit confused between the shot come cross, of what to do, and whether he was going to try and divert the ball himself or try play the ball forward. And unfortunately, he did a bit of both. They're going to try and leash Patson Daka there as well with a quick throw in, but Patson Daka just lost his footing. Here's James Justin now, who's going to roll it into Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall's been a bit quiet in the second half, like I say, since that goal. I don't understand why... damn, that's a good prediction. It most certainly is, Curly. I don't understand why Leicester City want to keep Wesley Fofana and Everton want to keep Anthony Gordon. They need to sell to invest in different positions. Yeah, precisely. I mean, if they're going to be able to make so much money, both of them are, from that, there might be an opportunity to counter-attack here, led by Joe Aribo. Here is Armstrong, who's going to roll it into Aribo. Aribo goes down! Is that a penalty? Ref, there's surely an appeal here for a penalty! If not, he's dived! And he's given it a simulation. We'll have to watch that again. He's trying to say that he didn't mean to go down there, Aribo. He does get there first. I mean, I don't know where they expect him to go. He does just go down, though. He does just go down. I mean, fair play to him for admitting that, you know, he put his hands up. He said, look, I didn't do it, but he's got himself in the book. And to be honest with you, like from the angle which it was at, obviously, I couldn't see whether there's been contact made. You see Joe Aribo go down and you like to give him the benefit, but you know, next time I won't be giving him the benefit of the doubt with those. That was completely a dive. Completely a dive. As my voice cracks once again. Here's Kyle Walker-Peters. Ward-Prowse. Finds Elianusi. Stuart Armstrong. Into Walker-Peters, back into Armstrong once again, just moving the ball nicely at the moment. Forest have scored, have they? They have, yes. Nottingham Forest have scored to make it 1-0. God, the drama going on everywhere. What has happened to Everton? I don't know. I really don't know. Everton have just become a shambles. I think it's just kind of exploiting that Frank Lampard maybe isn't the best of managers as well, as much as I hate to say it. Oh my gosh, they've scored! Che Adams has scored again! I was just changing the Forest score. I look up and Che Adams has slotted one in the bottom corner! Che Adams makes it 2-1 to Southampton. He makes it 2-1 and the Leicester City fans are leaving. They've seen enough. They are leaving. Che Adams is the hero so far. Leicester City need to book their ideas up. I said it's been coming. Since that, oh my God, Curly, Scunthorpe is now 3-3. Sorry. But since that first Leicester City goal, oh, that's a lovely finish, Che Adams. It's a great ball in. I think that's James Ward-Prowse off that right-hand side. It's either James Ward-Prowse. It looks like Ward-Prowse. It's a lovely ball in. And it's a spectacular finish. It is a wonderful finish into the bottom corner. Danny Ward, questions of the goalkeeping. But what a finish. What a finish that is from Che Adams. I tell you what. The Scottish Zlatan Ibrahimovic, eat your heart out, lad. What a finish that is, Che Adams. What a finish that is. And now Leicester are going to have to book their ideas up, aren't they? They most certainly are. But Southampton, they just don't look done, do they? They actually don't look done. They look like they want to carry on. They've grown into this game. They've worked it out and they've eventually got themselves in the lead on 83 minutes. Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable game so far. Patson Daka's just gone down. He caught a bit of a hand there from Bella Kopcha, who tried to fake shot to turn away, and as his fake shot, his hand has hit into the face of Patson Daka. Not sure he meant it. Definitely not sure he meant it, but Curly's cashed out at 18 quid. I forgot you put that quid on. That quid is looking very nice for you now, Curly. But Southampton have well and truly turned on the style since that goal. This is unbelievable. This is actually an unbelievable turnaround. I am very, very impressed with the way that Southampton have reacted to that Maddison free kick and the way that they have played. Pretty much, 54 minutes was the first goal. The way that they have played since that minute is absolutely unbelievable. They've taken the game to Leicester City. They've not been afraid to sit back. And, sorry, I'm getting distracted, but Scunthorpe are now, they were 3-0 up. It's now 4-3 to Solihull Moors. What are they doing? What are they doing at Scunthorpe? What are they doing in Scunny? I don't know. Curly's saying the same thing. I don't understand why Leicester aren't defending well. No, I don't. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not overly filled with confidence with Daniel Amati playing at centre-half anyway. But they've just turned on the style. Do you think Kasper Schmeichel and Wesley Fofana are laughing? I'm sure Fofana's not because he's sat in the stands, but I'm sure Kasper Schmeichel is definitely laughing now. Maybe he saw this coming. But that was such a poor response, like I say, to go in a goal up. They didn't even look like they were going to push on. They didn't look like they were going to push forward and push for a goal. Who scored? Brennan Johnson scored for Forest. Get in, Brennan Johnson, former Lincoln City player. Was on loan. What was it, 2 seasons ago with Lincoln. BL Football Talks, great to see you. Thank you for joining. And would I like to be a commentator on your channel? Just drop us a message on Instagram at SRL Sport, mate, and we can have a chat about it. But sounds good. Verified creator, says Fraser. Absolutely. Leicester City lost their it factor. They most certainly have, Batman. They really have lost their it factor at the moment. It's kind of unbelievable the way that this has happened in this game, and I keep going back to it, and I'll keep saying it until Leicester City put their ideas up. But since that goal, Leicester didn't react, and unfortunately Southampton have reacted in the best way possible, and now Leicester are on to lose. There's going to be a throw-in deep inside the Southampton half. Now we're seeing a little bit of urgency from Southampton. Now we're seeing that little bit of urgency, which is, a little bit too late. We've got, just over a minute left to play of regular time, and now we're seeing that urgency. It could be too late, though. Good feet, though, from Patson Daka in there. Is there a foul in there? No. That's really good defensive play by Southampton. Sorry, that was Kelechi Iheanacho cutting in off that right-hand side. The King Power need to get behind their side if they want to steal a point and prove me right with this 2-2 draw. It's going to be whipped in towards Iheanacho once again. Comes to the edge of the box. It's lofted in. Is there anyone going to be underneath that one? And that one's just fallen into the hands of Bazu. Papa Moat, I unfortunately I don't know what you're saying. If someone could translate, that would be excellent. But Batman says even if Wesley Fofana leaves, I don't think there's Leicester City have enough time. No, they don't. That's the thing. If you're gonna make a player leave, or if a player might leave, you might as well get rid of them as quickly as possible. Get them out of your club. Get the next person in and trained up, because we've got 6 minutes. Oh my gosh, ladies and gents, we've got 6 minutes. Ladies and gents, we have 6 minutes of football left, guys. 6 minutes of football. This is unbelievable. We could be on for some fantastic final few minutes. But yeah, they won't have time to find a proper replacement unless they go back to Harry Maguire. Iheanacho tries to flick one forward. This could be pinnacle Premier League football here. Into James Maddison, out wide. It's going to be whipped in across the box. Oh my God, I thought that was going to fall for Patson Daka there. Oof. No, Everton. Why, have Everton conceded again by any chance? Have Everton conceded again? What was that vibration then? What was that from? Oh, Fulham have just scored as well. That's what the vibration was from. Fulham have just scored. Mitrovic has scored to make it 3-2 in that one. There's goals galore here. That's a lovely flick by Patson Daka to find Dewsbury Hall. Great tackle. Brilliant tackle by Bella Kopcha. And he's not happy with Dewsbury Hall from going down. And there's a bit of argy-bargy going on here. James Maddison then pushes Bella Kopcha. They're losing their heads here now, Leicester City. They really are. Tempers are flaring. If they were this aggressive when they'd scored the goal to try and get the second goal, they wouldn't be in this position. I just realised Azezel RL, short for Azezel Redgate-Large, clearly was in the chat earlier on. Thanks for stopping by, all. Hope you are okay. Hope you enjoyed the rest of last night. Can't believe it's 3-2 at Fulham. We've seen a lot of good goals. Match of the day tonight's going to be interesting. And we've still got a game to play as well between Bournemouth and Arsenal. And that probably would promise goals as well. Glad I cashed out. Couldn't take the stress. That's why you do it. That's why you do it. It's going to be so exciting. 4 more minutes at the end of the 90. 6 minutes of added time. Remember when Leicester beat Man City in the Community Shield? That feels like a long time ago, doesn't it? Bit of a fall from grace from there. Will we get one more goal? That is the question. The ball hoofed up the field by Southampton. Danny Ward's going to try and see and usher that one out, and he just about has done that time. Leicester need to get a move on, though, if they want to get themselves a goal. Will it be ecstasy and joy as they nick a point, or will it be Southampton who are going to go home victorious? That's well won back. Here is Joe Aribo, who of course is on a booking from that dive earlier. Crosswords there with James Maddison. Heads clashing together between the two of them. I'm not sure where that came from, to be honest with you. I am not sure whatsoever. James Maddison. It was Lavia who put his head in James Maddison's head there. Maddison just getting frustrated, trying to bring down the youngster, the number 45, who wasn't pleased with it, and he just stood up. And they go head to head. Very unneeded. Don't mention Leicester in the FA Cup. Yeah, all right, Curly. Yellow card to James Maddison. Vardy is gone. I don't think they have a clinical finisher on the field. No, I don't think they do. I don't think they're going to do it. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to do it. Don't get me wrong. I think Patson Daka and Iheanacho on the day, they can turn up and they can be big game players for them. But we don't see it enough. We really don't see it enough. And we need to. Lovely play down the line there. That's gone out for a Leicester throw-in. Leicester really need to speed this up a little bit. They've got to be patient, but they can't be too patient because they don't have the time. They haven't left themselves enough time. 83 minutes Adams scored, and they're taking it right down to the wire here. James Maddison into Patson Daka. His touch just wasn't quite good enough. The first touch there just wasn't quite good enough from Patson Daka, and the touch just got away from him. Just got away from him. Danny Ward's now going to launch one forward. Flicked on, looking for Patson Daka once again, who's trying to cause some problems, but he's caused himself a problem there, and he's accidentally tripped up Kyle Walker-Peters. Oh, Leicester City, you've not been great today. You have not been great today whatsoever, Leicester City. Not been great today whatsoever. If you haven't already, guys, could you do me the lovely favour and smash that like button and do hit subscribe if you are new. We are, we're 5 likes away from the 15 goal. So if you could do that for us, that would be absolutely fantastic. Let's see if Leicester, with the few moments they have left, is this going to fall? It might fall first. Oh my gosh, the Saints nearly got themselves a clear 3-1 there. Nearly got themselves ahead. That would have put the win beyond Leicester, surely. But there might be... Is there one more opportunity for Leicester City? The referee puts his whistle to his mouth and Ralph Hasenhüttl celebrates as Leicester City lose 2-1 to Southampton at the King Power Stadium. That was a poor performance. Everton have just equalised. I've missed that one. Everton have equalised against Forest as well. But back to Leicester City. My gosh, how poor were Leicester City at having won their, having scored the first goal with an excellent free kick from James Maddison. How poor were Leicester City today? They were so poor. And to be honest with you, they didn't deserve anything out of that game. I'm sorry, Leicester fans, you might think you did deserve a point out of that game, but the reaction from the goal from Southampton was fantastic. Maddison scored a great free kick. The first half, he dominated in terms of possession, Leicester did. But Southampton's response after that goal was excellent. And for the rest of that game, they pushed on and they looked like the only team that was going to score. And, of course, the only team that, once Adams had scored his second, the only team that were really going to do anything, to be honest with you. It was a good second half performance after that goal, like I say, for Southampton. But Leicester, they're quite a way away from where they should be at this current moment in time. And like I say, this might go down to transfers. This may well go down to transfers. It really could, because Leicester they're the only side so far to not have made a transfer, or a real major transfer. They might have made some smaller ones that, we maybe don't look at. But as far as I'm aware, no transfers have been made. Leicester City, they're moving sideways and down rather than above. And you want to be looking above. Leicester City fans will think that they want to sit in that top 8, that they believe that they should be there. And today, first 45 minutes were decent, but they didn't create enough. Second 45 minutes, after that goal, it was really poor. Really poor after that goal. And Southampton, deserved winners in my opinion. Definite deserved winners in my opinion. That step up that they brought when that Maddison goal went in was unbelievable. They took the game to another level. They really did. Took it to another level. Let's see what Batman's had to say. He says, who do you think will get the sack first? Frank Lampard or Brendan Rodgers? Oh, I am going with Brendan Rodgers. 100%. I'm going Brendan Rodgers because he's been in the job longer. I think you'd be less likely to sack someone. But that being said, Everton can be quite brutal with the way that they sack their managers. So, who knows? But that's where I'm placing my money. I am going to say it will be Brendan Rodgers. We're just looking at the Bournemouth lineup now. They're playing a 3-4. I forgot Philip Billing still plays for them. That's mental. I don't even know half of these Bournemouth players. I've not really kept up to date with them. Then Active Aaron says, Maddison come to the tune, lads. I agree with Aaron. Maddison to Huddersfield Town. Where did that come from, Curly? And Poch to Leicester. Potentially. That'll definitely bring them on quite a lot. But what a weird day it has been for goals. As you can see them scrolling across the bottom. We've had a lot of goals, and at times it didn't look like we were going to have them. Let's just have a quick recap just before we go of all the goals that have gone in so far. So it's Crystal Palace 3, Aston Villa 1. That is how that one has finished from this 3 o'clock kickoff. We have had Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 1. 2 late goals in that one. A late goal from Damari Gray, who is in my fantasy football list for that one as well. Jeez. Then Fulham versus Brentford was 3-2, which is mental. Goals coming from Bobby Decordova-Reid, João Palhinha, Christian Norgard. Then Ivan Toney had one ruled out for offside. He then finally got his second one assisted by Johan Visa. And then in the 90th minute, Alexander Mitrovic comes up clutch for them, comes up absolutely clutch with an assist, with a goal, and an assist from Kevin Mbabu, the new signing. And then, like we mentioned here in our stream today, we have seen Leicester City flunk pretty much a game that was theirs to lose after 45 minutes. After 54 minutes, it most certainly was when they were 1-0 up, and they looked like they could have done much better. To be brutally honest, I think Leicester should have got something from that game, but they just weren't good enough. And to be honest with you, they didn't deserve it in the end. Looking at that first half, you'd have been like, right, Leicester are the only side picking up points from here. James Ward-Prowse, I don't think we mentioned him in the first half, apart from to say, James Ward-Prowse, I'm not sure we've mentioned you. I think that's the only time we've mentioned him. I think that is literally the only time we've mentioned him. And unbelievable, really. Unbelievable. I don't know if your stream is broken, Sam, or if it's my Wi-Fi. Kept the faith with the Mitro and the fantasy footy. Aaron's absolutely gambled, and it's worked out nicely for you today, Aaron, hasn't it? And BL Football Talk says, okay, no worries, mate. Just drop us a message, and I'll give you a message, mate. But I'm going to head off now, ladies and gents, because it's just getting up to about tea time. Tea time, how old am I? Get myself ready for the late kickoff and just have a bit of a sit back, relax and chill out. Got a few things I need to get on with. Do be sure to stay around. I'm going to try and do a stream for Leeds versus Chelsea tomorrow. It depends on how my plans are sitting. But if you don't hear from me, hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, guys, make sure if you haven't already, do be sure to smash that like button and do hit subscribe as well if you are new. Right, guys, thank you very much. And most importantly, as always,